Hey everybody, hey, it's your well woman, Lashana Moore. Welcome to an episode of Living Well with Lashana. And this is a podcast episode, so that also means that I have an audio version of this as well. You can go and subscribe to Living Well with Lashana, the audio podcast, and there's always a lot of information on that podcast as much as right here on Lashana Moore TV. How y'all doing? I hope you are well. I hope you're living well and whole. And I hope that you are finding ways to navigate life, navigate your health, your responsibilities, and of course, all of the terrains of life's journey. Wasn't it poetic? Now, listen, y'all, I'm going to try really hard to do this episode without my glasses. I just don't want to put them on. Plus, when I put them on, you can see the glare from my ring light. So, we'll have to work on that. At any rate, I want to talk with you. This particular episode is going to be under lifestyle. This is holistic homes. We're going to talk about having a holistic conscious home. Now, as I refer to home in this episode, I want you to insert whatever your living arrangement is. It may be a home, it may be an apartment, a condo, a townhome, it may be a rental, new construction, resale, all of those different areas. Because the thing about living well and whole is that it's not a luxury. It is for all of us. It is inclusive. It is not about the haves and forget the have-nots. Not just in food, not just in body and beauty care, but in your real estate, where you live, where you are spending your time, where you're laying your head. Whether it's a temporary situation, whether it's permanent, whether you're pivoting, you're at a pit stop, you're at your dream home, wherever you are. The beauty and the benefit of really understanding holistic life is that you apply it everywhere. You apply it to every season. So as you know, I have a wellness real estate firm called Holy Homes by Lashana, and that's WH. And our mission is all about helping you live smart, stylish, and sustainable. Blah, 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 blah. Helping you to live smart, stylish, and sustainable. We do home staging, home design, organization, and holistic consulting for construction. So this is going to be a two-part series because I want to cover as much as I can in under 30 minutes. It's the same way that I manage my audio podcasts. I want them to be in a reduced time with giving you as much information as I can. Of course, I made myself some notes so that I can stay on task. As I'm getting ready to do that, I have to give these announcements because these are happening in real time. January the 27th, online and live, the Best of Wellness. It is my women's forum. I have one live event every month with a practitioner, financial wellness, health, mental health, all of the areas of my platform and my brand. We are going to be joined by none other than the money maven herself, Janai Thornton. We're talking about getting our monies together. That means if you've got 1 cent or 10 grand and more, whether you have a savings or you don't, retirement or not, we're getting our money together. And if you know anything about Janai, you know that she knows how to effectively help you to establish your own financial portfolio. And don't be intimidated by the word financial portfolio because she's really going to break it down for us. We're talking about pre-retirement. Now, you've heard of retirement. We're going to talk about pre-retirement. We're going to talk about the psychology of money, ages 40 plus. What do we do about that? How do we think? How do we prepare? And we're going to be talking about the psychology of money 65 plus. You're pivoting. You are reinventing your life. You're going through a major shift in your life. What do we do? And we're also going to talk about, because you thought I was done, and we're also going to talk about ways to build additional streams of income. And we all need it. It matters not what class you're in. It matters not how much money you have. We all need to have multiple streams of income. And so sometimes that's easier said than done. So I want you to go onto my website, LashanaMoore.com, become a member. It's $9 a month for 12 months or pay the full year for $90. And this is an exclusive, this is exclusive content that I provide outside of all of the other free information that I give. We don't gatekeep. This is all about building and growing because there is enough space in this universe for all of us to live well and whole. And we all know and can agree that money is a huge part of that. Hey, it's what gives us options, freedom, flexibility to move about our lives and do the things that we need to do, and also enjoy the things that we want to enjoy. All right, ready to hop into this episode? Let's do it. So I want to talk to you about holistic homes, and I want to make sure that you understand that this is not just another green building trend. Holistic homes are a major part of wellness real estate because people are understanding the importance of its sustainability, the long-term effects on your budget, and also it affects the way that it affects your resale value. If you know realtors, brokers, anyone that's in the real estate business industry, invite them to listen to this information as well, and partner with Holy Homes to do this part of the heavy lifting as well if it is not a part of your expertise in your area. So what is holistic home? What is a holistic home? Is that a thing? Yeah, it's a real thing. There are more communities around the country that are being built with a holistic consciousness. As a matter of fact, I love the layout of my neighborhood. The community was built with a holistic, a wellness real estate consciousness. But when we talk about holistic homes, we're thinking about the structure of the home, the materials that are used. We're thinking about our homes as a living, breathing ecosystem, not just the structure with a roof and four walls. 90% of people are spending more time in their homes, whether it's because you're working remote, you're a home parent taking care of children, or you're a caregiver, or you're retired, whatever the case may be. Statistics have reported that 90% of us are spending more time in our home. COVID has a big part to do with that. So we want to think about our homes as a living, breathing ecosystem. Traditional structures and traditional construction has worked for a time, but we now understand that it also has produced some long-term effects, and we're going to talk about some of that today. So it's worth understanding how I can build for sustainability and longevity, and of course, to keep my house out of my pockets and out of my bank account. And so we'll talk about that as well. I have a few pillars of holistic home construction that I want to share with you. And I want you to be in the mind of understanding these wellness principles and an ecological consciousness of home. We want home to be a part of our holistic thinking. It's not just about what you eat and how much you exercise. It's not just about chemicals in food and in beauty and body products. It's also about where you live, how you live, and what is being housed in your personal space, in your sanctuary, your oasis while you are there. The first thing that I want to talk about with you when it comes to the pillars of holistic home construction is materials. This is a big part of my consulting with a contractor or with a client, a potential home buyer, about their building plans. It's all about the materials. And y'all, I don't know if you've ever paid attention to the way that we build in this country. First of all, building has changed a lot from the early 1900s. Our homes are more susceptible to mold, to leaking, to roof repair, to flooding because of the way that we build from the ground up. The land, the property that we find to build on, or the property that we're purchasing a home on, makes a huge difference. Our homes almost look like stick homes when you're looking at them before they go through wrapping. When you just look at them from just a natural naked state, it looks like stick homes. And so we deal with the importance of understanding materials. We talk about sustainable harvested wood. We talk about natural insulation options like sheep's wool, recycled denim. These choices are available to you to consider using and to request from your contractor. And there are a lot of other different materials that I go through as well with clients. This is also based on your geographical location. It's based on budget. It's based on the type of home that you want to have. It's also based on whether you're able to build a custom home and what the criteria or the freedom you have surrounding what that will look like. So that's something that we work with you on as well. But I want you to be mindful of how this makes such a big difference in building. So consider, like I said earlier, that the average person spends about 90% of their time in the house. And so these materials are surrounding you. It's going to directly impact your health. It's going to impact your respiratory health. It's going to impact your health through off-gassing, through particular matter, through pollutants, electromagnetic fields. And so typically in the past and present, traditional construction materials like VOCs and pollutants, formaldehyde, harmful chemicals will silently affect our well-being. These are areas that the everyday person aren't usually knowledgeable of. And so we talk about things like that, like what's happening in the atmosphere of your home while you are in your home, living, eating, sleeping, relaxing, children, elders, what's really going on in our homes and how this affects our well-being. The other aspect about being holistic, having a holistic conscious home, is the mental health aspect of it and the built environment of your home. It's just like when you are dating or when you are considering what your preferences are for a partner. You have your do's and don'ts. You have your deal breakers. There are some things that are very important to you. Some of those are stability, consistency, integrity, honesty, loyalty, where our home, our built environment is the same. We want to explore having a holistic home from a mental health perspective, from the perspective of having a good high grade build out. And so something that is usually particularly relevant in a fast-paced world like we're in is, how do we feel safe and secure in the homes that we live in? Natural light, proper ventilation, being more connected to nature inside and outside of the home, the community that surrounds you. Now, that's a big socioeconomical challenge for many, because our income, the money that we have access to can directly affect our environment. And that will affect your mental health, the safety that you feel, the resources that surround you, the opportunities that surround you, the environmental vibes, the environmental health. All of these things are a major part of mental health and the build environment. So we talk about those things. Those are things that I want you to be mindful of. I'm taking a look at my notes here. Large windows are a big part of positioning the daylight to have access into your house. This is going to be effective for your circadian rhythm. Case in point, what do we call it? Daylight saving time. Daylight saving time affects our mood. It affects our energy. Our circadian rhythm is trying to make its adjustment to the light and the darkness. The same impact having large windows, having access to natural light can have that effect as well. We want to position our homes. We want to create construction plans to be able to provide that kind of natural light. Improving your sleep quality, the seasonal affective disorder. I have online clients who are in other regions where there's not as much sun in certain seasons of that particular city. And so we know seasonal depression can be a big thing because there's not a lot of access to sun. And then, of course, natural sunlight is going to do what? It's going to help promote more energy efficiency in the house. So it's not just about aesthetics. It's about creating an environment that you can live in that helps to also regulate your nervous system? Are you seeing the connection in living holistic, being in a holistic conscious home? I'd like to talk about the next pillar, which is going to be respiratory health. Now, there's already an environmental factor to this. For those of you who live in areas where there's a lot of pollutants, there are factories, there's the ship channel here where I stay, there's a lot of oil and gas here. And so we've got smoke and pollutants happening all over the place. So we have a lot of environmental pollutants to consider. But we also want to consider the environmental factors that affect our health and our respiratory system inside of the house. So we want to think about improving our air quality. Traditional homes tend to trap a lot of pollutants, whether you have a lot of carpet in your house. I was sharing on the audio podcast that in this day and age, a lot of builders aren't necessarily carpeting much of the house, but there are some builders that still do. Over 70% of the house has been carpeted once upon a time. Some builders are still doing that. We're trapping pollutants in the house that way with carpet. You may have pets who trap a lot of dirt, debris, the outdoors in the house. If you're not a home that leaves your shoes at the door, then your shoes are bringing it in. If you're bringing new packages, new bags, toggling things, transporting them in and out of the house. I'm at home, so as I'm talking, I'm looking around, so that's why you may see my eyes moving. But you're bringing things in and out of the house. A lot of toxins are being trafficked in and out of the house. Then you want to think about advancing your indoor ventilation system, your vents, your ventilation system, the cleaning, not just the cleaning of them, but also the materials that are used for ventilation. It's going to determine the quality of the air. It's also going to determine the sustainability of and the durability of that particular part of the house. So that's something that we work on as well. That's a part of being holistic conscious. We talk about conserving energy. Now, a lot of our appliances, like your washer and dryer, automatically come now with energy savers. As a matter of fact, these washers are very fancy. They will determine, based on whatever functions you set, your settings, they will determine how much water that particular load needs. Well, listen, thank you, because help me save, right? Help me save money. But natural materials like lime plaster walls, they help to regulate humidity. And as I said earlier, mold creeps in. I don't know if I said it here, but I definitely said it on the audio podcast. Mold creeps in very easily, y'all. And not just over a period of time, but sometimes during the construction of your home. And so that's another important factor about how our homes are being built, what types of materials are being used. New construction homes usually come with a pretty good warranty for certain aspects of the house, 10, 15, 20-year warranty. But we also can extend the life and preserve the quality of the home by other factors that we want to look at. In choosing to be a holistic conscious home, having a holistic home. Let's go on and let me see what other notes I have made here. Shall we talk about the financial perspective? That's another pillar of having a holistic home. So let's talk numbers. So it does cost 10 to 20% more at the beginning of a construction phase when you want to be holistic conscious. But our stats also let us know that homeowners save up to 30 to 50% in utilities. It will also affect the resale value of your house if you should ever choose to sell your home. These homes are durable. They're requiring less maintenance over the years. And I'm talking about everything from electricity to plumbing to water testing, to the air ventilation, humidity control, energy saving, all of those different things. And And we have insurance companies now also. I was not able to cover this in the audio podcast part 1, but we also have energy companies now that will provide holistic homes with a premium discount. Certified green building standards, specific sustainable features. And Holy Homes, for an example, would walk you through these phone calls, or would be third party with you as you set all of those things up for your new home. So when you think about what you're spending up front, 10 to 20% more in terms of materials, in terms of the specifics of the build, I'm saving 30 to 50% on the back end. My monthly utilities, the durability of my home, the resale value of my home, staying out of my pocket, the peace of mind, and especially if you have children or you have elderly parents, however many people you have in your home, or maybe how busy you are in your house. Like if you live fully, completely, thoroughly in your home, you live in every aspect of your house, that affects how the home is preserved. It affects the way the home is preserved as well. I welcome questions in the comments if you want to ask them. Let's move on. It is crucial to ensure that your policy is going to cover replacement cost of sustainable materials and systems too. So that is something that we talk about. I want you to know that that is possible. It's usually just a matter of knowledge, having knowledge and applying that knowledge. Solar panels, geothermal systems, natural building materials are a few that we talk about. So these are fundamental elements of what it means to create a holistic, conscious home, having a holistic home. My part 2, I'm going to include contractors and those steps, the step-by-step of building a home, and how Holy Homes can help you with that. If you are not local, as I said before, we do consultations online, we do virtual, and we help you based upon what your state regulations are as well. I'll stop right there because I want to keep this within 30 minutes. This is your well woman, LaShanna Moore, reminding you to be well and be whole. Until the next episode. Bye-bye.